Take your comfortable seat on your mat or your prop. And sit up nice and tall. And before we start centering, breathing, all that good stuff, let's take a few moments here to just let go of whatever it is we're moving away from. Take a deep breath in, let your shoulders rise all the way up by your ears, filling your breath. Let the breath go, let the shoulders drop. One more time, big inhale as the shoulders rise up. And then let it all go at once. Bring your shoulder blades a little closer together behind you, lengthening out your neck. Allowing your eyes to close or softening your gaze in front of you. Let your focus, your awareness, just continue to shift away from your day and on to your breath. As that breath continues to deepen, notice your belly moving along, your ribs, your chest, all moving in unison to move your breath. And when that time feels right, start to bring your Dirga Pranayama into practice. So moving the belly first with your in-breath, and letting that breath grow upward until you are full. As you exhale, release your breath from the chest all the way down to the belly. A slight little squeeze of your abdominals to come to empty. Since when we get moving, we're going to be moving with a little bit of fire. Why don't we add a little bit of fire to our breath? Just bringing a little bit of heat in, as if we need more heat. A little bit more power, let's put it that way. Nice strong breath in through the nose. Releasing it out back through the nose. Let's take 2 more deep breaths just like this. When you reach that 3rd breath, take an inhale and then just hold at the top of your inhale. Hold it here for just a few moments. You're always welcome to release when you need to. And then if you haven't already, let that breath go. Dropping your right hand down to the floor. And lifting that left arm up overhead. Now pressing the left side of your body outward toward the left. Help you find a little arc. Shoulder blade pulling down the back. Bring it onto center and switch arms. So left arm down, right arm up. Nice and long through the body. And we'll just start to move side to side, just like this. Coming to center and over to the right. Center and over to the left. As we move, as always, we're going to put our breath into this. Nice deep breath in as you come to the middle, and then let the breath go as you lean. You want to go quickly enough so that you just start to feel that movement and everything start to loosen up, but go slowly enough that you have time to tune into what you're feeling. next time you are over to the left, let's hold it here. Decide if you want to walk that bottom hand out a little further to go a little more, or just stay where you are. And we'll take a couple of circles here with our arm, keeping the arm as straight as you can, just seeing what the circle looks like, because there's no right or wrong. We're just kind of taking note. Good. Pause when that arm is next down by your side. Reverse the direction of your circle. When your arm is next by your side, bring yourself back up. Place that little right hand down, lift the left arm up. Circling around. Just start to bring that arm forward and really reach it around. And let's just switch directions on that arm. Last big overhead reach. Draw the arm down by your side, come all the way up. A little bit more for our arms, but let's switch direction of our cross if you're sitting cross-legged. So bring the other leg on top. You can always shake it out in the middle if you need to. And then take your right arm out to the side. So stretch through those fingertips, flip your palm to face forward. Bending your elbow, bringing your hand either onto the back of your head. You could even walk it further down your back if that feels all right in your shoulder. And then take your left hand out, flip the palm to face the back wall. And really start to press that arm back behind you, not letting yourself twist. Bend the left elbow. And then just land that hand somewhere back on your back. It could be your lower back or higher up. We're super not warmed up, so don't go for that clasp if you usually need a lot more work to get there. Stretch both arms all the way out. Open them nice and wide. Lift your sternum upward. Good. And then your left palm facing forward. Bend the elbow and connect with the back of your head or neck. Flip your right palm to face back and bend the elbow. Start to bring that arm back behind you. Don't worry, if you're in need of really wanting to touch those fingers, we're going to come back to this pose later after we've done a lot more. And that's when I recommend to try that out. And stretch both arms all the way out. Drop the hands down and bring your feet out in front of you. So bring the soles of your feet on the floor. And bring your hands onto either the fronts of your knees or the backs of your thighs. Now lengthen out, especially if you started to round here. Lift your chest up. Start to lean it back. We're easing into boat pose here. You can always choose to stay here if you'd like that little bit extra. Reach the hands straight forward. Now keep the heels connected to the floor, but flex your feet. So the rest of your foot is taken off from the floor, heels are still pressing down, and then actively press those heels a little more into your mat. And if this is not near enough for you, lift those arms up. The further back you lean, the harder it gets, and the harder it gets to come back up. So take that all into account. Keep pressing those heels down, one more breath. And as you let the breath go, bring it forward. Grab a hold of your shins, let your feet come back down to the floor. Let your head hang for a moment. As you inhale, sit it all the way back up. We're going to keep our left knee bent. Maybe walk the foot in a little bit closer if you had it really far out. And hang on to that left knee. Extend your right leg straight out in front of you. Press through your foot. And because my knee has been troubling me again, I once again have all those physical therapy exercises on the brain, so we're going in that direction. So with your next breath, start to bend your right knee and draw your foot back in towards you. And then extend that leg. So it could be a little bit of sliding action, or it could be completely hovering off the floor as you do this. So you're just bending and drawing the knee in, straightening and sending the leg back out. When that leg is next extended, hold it out here. If you have it lying on the floor, you can keep it there, or choose to let it just hover right above the floor. Keep pressing through the heel. Maybe noticing your quads and hip flexors here. And then set the heel back down onto the floor. Just let that foot rotate side to side. When my knees start hurting, it means my quads probably need a little more strengthening. And then that means everybody in my yoga class has to do knee exercises with me. So sorry about that. Take your right knee in and stretch the left leg out. Now really press through the foot. Imagine there's a wall in front of you and you're pressing your leg into it. Good. And then start to bend that left knee, drawing the leg in nice and close as it will go. Stretch the leg back out. So if you're sliding the heel along the floor, that just makes it a little bit more supported if this is challenging. If the heel's just slightly hovering, it's going to get a little tougher. That leg is next extended, and hold it here. Maybe lifting it that 1/4 of an inch up off the floor, toes pointing up to the sky, still sitting up tall. And let the heel go. Shake out that leg. And then make your way up to table. So find your hands and knees. Hopefully your hands and knees are in the places they're supposed to be. And bring those hands right under your shoulders, or your wrists right under your shoulders. We're going to make a few circles here and start these circles really slow. So we're just circling the shoulders over the wrists. Start these circles nice and slow. We'll get them going a little bigger in a moment. But give yourself a few circles here to just concentrate on the wrists loosening up a little bit. Press through the whole hand, the whole palm, and the fingers and the fingertips. And then now you can start to make those circles a little bit bigger so your hips are moving around the knees. Maybe you really swing them out side to side as you move around. Pausing somewhere in your circle and circling back the other direction. You can go right into those big circles. Just notice if anything is different in this direction, or does it feel completely the same? And now we're going to start to circle back. or go into smaller circles. Just making them smaller and smaller, bringing your awareness back into your wrists. Good. Letting those circles come all the way to stillness. Taking your right leg out straight behind you. And then bending the knee. Finding about a right angle in your knee. Taking that knee, pressing it out to the right, and then drawing it slightly forward. Everybody's favorite fire hydrant. Press it back to that starting position. And then back towards the shoulder. If you can actually touch your shoulder, then you get points or something. I don't know, but don't worry about it if you don't. Because this is just hard enough. Bringing it a few inches forward. And then because we're doing fire hydrant, we might as well just hold it here next time that knee is forward. Try to even out your weight on your hands. One more moment. And then stretch the leg out back behind you. Straighten out the leg. And drop the foot all the way down to the floor. So that right leg still extended. Toes are tucked under. Now slide the inside line of the right foot to the floor. So you're just kind of pivoting that foot to the side. Take your right hand, bring it onto your right hip, and start to open up toward the side wall. So this is just modified side plank. And if you want to stretch a little bit more, you can lift that top arm all the way up to the sky. At the same time, be pressing down through your right foot. You got it. Now take that top hand, drop it down, and you want to just give your left wrist a little bit of a tap, and then reach the arm back all the way up. And let's do that a few more times, opening and closing in modified side plank. Getting a little twisting action going. Next time that hand is coming down, set it all the way down on the floor. Rotate back in to be facing your mat and take your right knee down. Letting go of that side so we can move on to side number 2. So take your left leg out and then bend the knee. Keeping that spine as neutral as you can, engage your abdominals to help you do that. Start to take the knee, rotate it out towards the left, press it forward towards the shoulder, the arm, and then bring it back, starting position. Every time you bring that leg back to the starting position, maybe just give it a little press upward. A little bit of bonus work for your hamstrings and glutes. When that knee next comes outward and forward, hold it here. Keep that breath nice and steady and smooth. Just will it to be steady if this is feeling challenging. And then bring the leg back behind you. Stretch the leg out long. Toes tucked under. Drop your left foot all the way down to the floor. Start to rotate open towards the left by bringing your left hand to your hip. From there, it just gets a whole lot easier to start to rotate open. And then you can even reach that arm all the way up. Taking your top arm, dropping it down towards the floor, little quick tap, reach it back up. Opening and closing, feeling free to find a little rotation all through the front of your spine. And that's not really just work for your shoulder, kind of work for the whole upper body. Let's reach it up one last time. And then drop the hand all the way down. Rotate back to face your mat. Knee coming down to the floor. And taking that right hand, reaching under the left arm. Start to walk that right hand out, dropping down maybe onto the side of your shoulder if that works for you. If your left palm just kind of rests on the mat, you might be peeking under your armpit here. Walk that right hand back. And thread that left hand under right. Threading your needle in that direction. We worked on a big open twist when we were side planking, and this is more of a closed type twist. Now walk your left hand back. And step your left foot forward. Take your left hand, bring it to the inside of your left foot. I mentioned lizard earlier, so we're kind of moving in that direction. And then come right up on the tips of your fingers so that you get up a little taller. To start, just press your knee into your elbow, your arm, whatever it's touching. And then lengthen out, maybe slightly lift your gaze. Elongate through that back leg. And if you're still up on your fingertips, just press your palms down into the floor, tuck your back toes under, and just lift that back knee up. Can you keep it kind of low here? Just see if you can. Maybe rock forward and back a few times, using the strength of that back foot. Very slight movement. It's so slight that you guys are kind of just jumping around in your film here. Good. Now let's set that back knee back down. And this is where our lizard's going to come into play. So, let that left knee just start to press out towards the left. And you can come right up on the very edge of your left foot if that helps you do this. Make some adjustments here because this can be a bit of a tricky one. And it feels good when you hit the right spot. Now pressing your foot back down into the floor. Maybe walking your hands back a little closer to you just to pull that knee back underneath. In the world's most ungraceful transition there. Taking the right foot, stepping it forward. And remember, we're going to bring our hand to the inside of the foot. Just setting yourself up, maybe scooching that back knee back further if that suits you. And then taking right knee, moving it inward towards your arm. You can always create that little bit of tension. Press the arm into the knee, press the knee into the arm. And then tucking your back toes under and lifting that back knee. See if you can get that back leg towards straight. Just that little gentle rocking forward and back Hopefully it feels good. If it doesn't, don't do it. Awesome. Drop your knee back down to the floor. And now we'll send the knee out to the side. Right knee starts to press outward, maybe coming up on the edge of the foot. You can always bend your elbows a little bit if you feel like no stretch here. You can always come down to forearms. Don't ask me to demo it though, because it will look quite ugly. Bring the right foot back down as the knee comes inward. And then just walk that right foot in towards the midline a little more. Bring your right hand to the outside of the foot, just back in like a normal kind of lunge. Tuck your back toes under and lift the back knee. We're stepping forward to forward fold. Step, hop, whatever you need to do. Now keep those knees nice and bent if you're still feeling a bunch of pull on the backs of the legs. Haven't quite gotten them 100% warmed up yet in this position. But let your head dangle for a moment. So just let your chin kind of press in towards your throat. Maybe a few sways side to side. And then taking it back to center. As you inhale, reach the arms out at your sides, select T position, and lift your body halfway, just halfway. And then as you exhale, drop your hands back down and back into forward fold. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift up halfway, arms out. And exhale all the way down. This time as you inhale, draw those arms out, little bend in the knees. Come all the way up with a flat back. Reach the arms up. And then exhale the hands down at your sides. Checking out your feet to make sure they're in a nice strong stance to help you move around in a sun salutation. So stand up nice and tall, little bend in the knees, shoulders back. And inhale the arms all the way up overhead. As you exhale, drop them down to shoulder height. Nice flat back, start to bring it forward. All the way to forward fold, letting yourself round when you reach the bottom of that forward fold. And then inhale, lift halfway. Arms can do whatever you like. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep those arms out, come all the way up. And then exhale to release. Draw your hands in towards your heart. And breathe right into your thumbs. Take just a couple of breaths here to feel the breath pushing against your thumbs. And then maybe challenge yourself to just feel that expansion a little bit more, to create a little bit more expansion in the chest, in the ribs. Keeping your hands right where they are with your next breath. Bend the knees and sit back into chair. So really shift those hips back so that the weight is a little bit more weighted in the back of your foot. Looks good. Keeping that upper body nice and tall. You're looking straight forward. And then straighten those legs, come all the way up. If you have your feet really, really wide, maybe walk them just a little bit closer. The feet, they don't have to touch, but maybe just bring them a little bit closer. Helps with what we're going to do next. So coming back into that stance, and then sitting back into our chair once again. A little bit different with your feet a little closer. Now paying attention to that upper body and just starting to twist that upper body just a little bit to the right. Now you want to keep your lower body right where it is. Don't let it twist. If it's accessible for you, you can lower that upper body down a little bit. Reach the left elbow for your legs, whether it be hooking the outside of the right leg or maybe just perching on the left leg. All the while we're trying to keep those hips in line. And let's take a nice inhale as we stand all the way up and unwind. Drop those hands back down by your sides. Step your right foot back. Bring that back heel down. And let your toes reach out for the long side of your mat. If you need to adjust what your feet are doing, maybe you need a wider stance. Just make those adjustments. Dropping down into that front knee. Nice deep bend there. Reach the arms out. Warrior two. Take that back hand and just drop it on down to that back leg. Lift up through the front arm. Big arc backward. Big side body stretch. Try not to turn this into a twist. And then bring it back to warrior two, Virabhadrasana. And for a moment here, let's just straighten out that front leg, give it a little rest. Take that front arm, bend the elbow, bring the hand up to the back of the head or the back of the neck. And that back arm, flip the palm to face the back wall. Bend that elbow and send the hand to the lower back or higher up. You're always welcome to go for that bind if your shoulders are ready for it. If not, just let them rest where they are. Press both elbows toward the back wall. Bend back into your front knee. We've got warrior two, cow face arms. And from here, we're just going to add a little bit of a lean forward. Legs are going to stay right where they are. Just lean that upper body slightly forward. And then take it slightly back. Back to center. Reach the arms out. Straighten that front leg and we'll come forward into triangle. So reach that arm forward and down, front arm, as you tilt into your triangle. Ooh. So we'll take a few breaths in triangle here. Working on getting that front leg nice and straight, but not locking out your knee. Letting that top arm just reach and stretch for the sky. Let your top arm come on. You can just bring it down to your side. Pivot your back set of toes to face the front of your mat. And step the back foot forward. Take as many steps as you need. Back to 2 feet. Coming all the way up if you were lowered. Inhale those arms up overhead. I've got a wall right here, so I'm doing all kinds of funny twists as I reach up. So if you're looking at me, don't worry about what I'm doing. Do your thing. Bring those palms together, lower them down to your heart. Bending the knees, sitting the hips back. Regular chair, no twisting yet. Unfortunately, we have another side in our twisting chair. Or maybe fortunately, if it's your favorite pose ever, which I'm sure it is. Stand it back up straight. Sit the hips back down. Here comes that twist. Start it in that upper part of your body. Don't let the lower body move. When you've twisted as far as you can, maybe you lower down a little bit, connect your elbow with some part of your legs. You can also just stay lifted and twisting. Still trying to keep the weight even on your feet. Good. Unwind or twist back to center. Come up a little higher. And take your hands onto your hips, stepping the left foot back. Good. Drop that back heel down. Toes will be out at about a 45-degree angle. And then bending into your front knee. Stretch your arms out, come into your full warrior two. And really reach through the fingertips, because this is a big, powerful pose. You all know it. Straighten up a little bit taller, all the way through the top of your head. Take that back arm, press it into the back leg. Lift up. Reach that front arm upward. Maybe even a little slight arc back if the space is available. And then bring it all the way back to warrior two. Straighten out that front leg as we set ourselves up with the different arms. Bending your front arm and hand coming to the back of the head or neck. Flip your back arm so the palm faces back. And then bend the elbow, bring that whole arm back behind you. You might find a little bit more space because we're much warmer now. You can walk those fingers a little closer if you want to. Bend back into your front knee. And then just think of shifting your rib cage, shifting it forward as the legs continue to hold themselves in place. Those elbows are still pressing outward. Good. Shift it back and stretch the arms out. Straightening out your front leg. We're going to bring it forward into triangle. So just windmilling of the arms. Front arm comes down. Back arm comes up. And your gaze can be looking up. It could be looking straight forward. It could be looking down at the floor. Think of yourself as being sandwiched in between two panes of glass. That's how flat we're keeping our body. Good. Little bend in that knee as you come back up. Drop the arms down. Pivot your back toes, face forward towards that short end of your mat. Step or hop that back foot forward. And then inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale to come forward and down. Fingers can connect to the floor or your legs, or you can hang in ragdoll, grabbing opposite arms. Find the variation that lets you have a little moment of release. Bend those knees generously so you can connect your palms to the floor. Walk your feet back, come into downward facing dog. So lift those hips upward. Maybe create just a little tiny arch in your lower back as you slide your weight a little bit more towards your feet. Just press your weight a little more towards your feet. Everyone's favorite resting pose. I say that jokingly because I've never felt this was very restful. Good. And coming forward and sending the knees all the way down to the floor. Nice and slow. Let your hips come back towards your heels. Maybe stretch those fingers, those hands a little further forward. Starting to walk your hands back towards you, just to bring your head up nice and slow. And just making our way, we're not gonna stay in seated, but just kind of pass through seated. Bring your legs out in front of you and roll yourself all the way down to your back. Then the right knee, bring it in towards your chest. Just connect your hands to your shin or the back of your leg. And stretch out that left leg. So stretch it straight forward. Just like before when I said, imagine you're pressing your foot into the wall. Imagine that left foot pressing into the wall to engage. And hug that right knee in as much as it feels good. Maybe wiggle that right foot a few times. Just release any tension, extra tension that's built up there. And taking a hold of your right knee with your left hand, letting your right arm just slide down by your side or out away from your body. Draw that right knee just across your body, coming as deep into a twist as you like. You can even rock up on that left hip. You can draw the knee in closer or press it away. Looking for the sensations that your body is craving. And the placement of your knee, that's going to change those sensations. So find that one. Good. Now coming back to center. Releasing your right leg all the way to the floor. You can stretch it all the way down if you like. And now taking your left knee in. Hugging your left knee in nice and close. Strong right leg just to hold you in place. Movement in your left foot. Wiggles, twisting, circles, whatever you like. Good. Now just the right hand connecting to your left knee. And the left arm just comes to your side or all the way out. Reaching that left knee, now over to the right. Starting that process of slowing the breath already. Finding your way back onto your back. Releasing your leg and just stretching it out, or moving through any final poses or stretches, whatever you might be needing. Finding your ultimate pose, Shavasana. And just letting your body settle in. As those breaths continue to slow, let each one help you to feel just a little bit more heavy. A little bit more connected to the earth below you. Allowing the breath to just continue to move in and out. Letting your only effort be whatever effort it takes to enjoy stillness and relaxation. Noticing the flow of your breath. Letting the breath expand just a little bit. Taking a few moments to just invite the awareness to come back into your body. Using some movement to help you do so. And when you're ready, coming over to one side. All the way back up to seated. And with your next inhale, just draw your palms all the way up overhead, pressing them together at the top of the breath. Exhaling to bring your palms down to your heart, bowing your head to the light that you carry within you. I thank you for being here on this lovely morning. I hope the rest of your weekend is equally as lovely. Until I see you next, namaste. Jai, jai, jai. And jai to you watching this on the video later.